Hi friends, my name is Kitty. I'm an organizer out here in the SF Bay area, and I work a lot on the community committee, and one of the projects that I'm working on that I'm really excited about is circles. So what are circles? Circles are small groups of activists, usually 3 or more. There are some circles that are up to 15. There's no strict number on the number of people that can be in a circle, but usually smaller the better. And circles usually meet once a week, almost always. There are a few exceptions that meet once a month just due to like really tight scheduling on the host part. And usually in the circles, they get together, activists share food, talk about how they're doing, talk about their lives, their activism. Some circles plan events and actions together. There are circles that have specific themes, like the Women's Circle for Personal Growth, that often has like little workshops. They have meditations. Women from the community share about how they're doing in their lives. There are also circles that are more action-based. While most of the circles, pretty much all of them, are very social, because that's kind of the point of the circles. There are some that are more action-oriented, so like the Sacramento Action Circle, the Asian Empowerment Circle, the Peninsula Circle. Circles like those ones, they do outreach events, they do protests, they do other kinds of events together. And so why circles, and how does it fit into our vision for animal liberation? So circles are a really awesome tool that we've learned about and kind of created from looking at other social movements. And it's a tool that can help us recruit, sustain, and develop activists by providing a sense of personal connection and support to everyone that joins the movement. So I envision everyone that comes into the community, everyone that comes into the movement getting plugged into a circle and forming small, tight friendships through the circle, and then feeling really connected to and inspired by the community and wanting to stay involved for the long run. Circles also give us the opportunity to be leaders, to learn how to facilitate small groups, and if it's an action circle, to learn how to do actions together, how to be creative and make mistakes together. There's so many things that we can learn from leading these small groups together. Circles also help make the movement stronger from infiltration, and as individuals helps us combat burnout by providing mutual support for activists. And I think it's really important that we have a strong community. That's why I do all the community stuff, because it's really important to me. But the community really is the base on which our movement is built. Because if we have a weak community and activists aren't friends, they don't trust each other, then they're not going to be able to work together and have such a strong, robust movement. And we've achieved so much in our movement, and our community has grown so much, way more than I ever imagined, maybe way more than any of us had imagined. And so one thing that we can do to keep the movement growing and keep the movement strong is by facilitating these small groups, and that's where circles come in. Because as our community grows, like when we go to Days of Action or go to meetups, there's tons of people, and it becomes harder and harder the more people there are, the more new people coming in. It just becomes harder for people to have like personal connections and really talk to people and talk about who they are and what inspired them, and just feel that support and community that is so essential to being an activist and being a part of this movement. So when we get into these small groups, we're able to talk to each other, open up, trust each other, develop these awesome friendships that keep us inspired and keep us motivated to being activists for the long run. And also in the circles, I think it's really important, like an opportunity for us to share about how we're doing personally, because we don't often get to share about how we're doing. I think in general, like people often ask like, oh, how are you doing? But it's usually small talk. And then I think especially as activists, it's important for us to make space to share about how our lives are going and what's good and what's bad, what's inspiring us, like any support we need, because we're constantly intentionally exposing ourselves to really awful violences in the world. Like it would be easy for us to just ignore all the awful things that are happening in the world and just live like a normal life. But we specifically choose not to. We specifically choose to go to slaughterhouses and go to places of violence and witness those things and constantly expose ourselves to those things. So it's extra important that we have people that we can talk to and share with, people who understand what we're going through and understand why we care so much about this cause and are able to support us. And then also another thing on action circles is it has a huge benefit to the activists involved, because it gives us the opportunity to learn how to be responsible, learn how to do project plans, learn how to do protests together, take on roles that maybe we wouldn't take. And I think the best part is it gives us a chance to organize creative actions and make mistakes together that otherwise we might not be able to do if it were like a day of action or a huge chapter-wide protest. Like we might not get the chance to do all the creative little things that we want to do. So it's a huge opportunity for activists to just take it and go with it and organize their own things. And then also circles are really helpful to bring new people into the community. Like I'm constantly inviting people to my circle who I think might be interested in the circle. And hopefully all the other hosts are doing the same, because my vision, as I mentioned, is like everyone comes into the community, is welcomed, and then they go to a circle in like a smaller group setting and are able to learn more about the movement, learn more about what we're doing, get inspired, and really want to stay involved. And then a little about my personal example of my circle. A little over a year ago, I started Circulito Chingon, and I started it because, I started with a group of activists, but because there's a lot of people in our community that feel more comfortable speaking Spanish, and some people who don't speak English at all, and I wanted to make a space for them too. So we've been meeting every week for a long time now, and I absolutely love my circle. I feel really close to the people in my circle. Even the times that we haven't been able to meet, like that connection is still there. And the friendships that we've built in our circle, the things we learned about each other, like all of that is kind of invisible. Like we can't see how that's making us stronger as activists and how that's making our movement stronger, but it really is. Like, and also my circle is an action circle. We've done multiple protests together. We've done some creative things. We've done a couple of disruptions at a grocery store in Spanish. And I think it was awesome because we reached a lot of people that maybe have not heard our message before. We did a Cube of Truth in Spanish, and we do stuff like that. And it's just awesome because we're learning new things. People are doing speak outs for the first time, and maybe they wouldn't have done that at a day of action. People are taking on roles that they hadn't taken on before, and it's pretty exciting. Like, I adore my circle. I love the people in it, and I want everyone in the community to have that experience and feel that connection, you know? And if you're interested in joining a circle, please do. You can check out more information and a map of the circles at dxe.io/circles. And if you're interested in hosting a circle, that's even more awesome, because I'm always looking for awesome activists that can host circles, maybe at their home or maybe in a public place if not. And you can sign up at dxe.io/host. Thank you so much.